When we're talking about the tangent graph, basically the tangent graph, it almost is similar to the sines and cosine functions where you have critical points at four parts. Notice we have the starting point, you have the ending point. So notice that every fourth you have a key point happening. So what we're going to end up doing is, we're going to use that same idea that we did for sine and cosine, just modify a little bit for tangent. First thing we're going to do is one major point between tangent and normal graph is tangent has a period of pi instead of 2 pi. And tangent also, we're going to use the left asymptote as our starting point. And then the right asymptote will represent the ending point. So when we're going through and we're finding tangent, what I want to do is I want to find all the key parts. Notice on number 10 we have the amplitude of 3. So since that's going to be a vertical stretch, that's going to affect my points in the middle. So my left asymptote is still going to be at x equals negative pi over 2. And my ending point will still be at x equals positive pi over 2. So I'm going to go through and do my asymptote lines at the half pi's. Now, you're going to say anchor point. I don't really use that term a lot, but what I am going to do is I'm going to find my middle point, and this is where my intercept would be. Because notice the intercept line goes through 0. Well, once I get both of my asymptotes covered, then I know that my intercept line is going to be halfway between the period. So halfway between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2 is 0. So I'm going to have the point 0, 0. Now, so my two halfway points where what this calls anchor points are now halfway between my asymptote and my intercept. So now that I have my two anchor points covered, or my asymptotes and my intercept covered, what I want to do now is do the halfway point between my left asymptote and my intercept, which puts us at x equals negative pi over 4. Now, normally we would be at negative 1, but I have this vertical stretch of 3. So instead of being down 1, I'm actually going to go down 3. So I would have a point at negative pi over 4 and 3, or negative 3. For the right anchor point, I would find a point halfway between the intercept and my right asymptote, which would be at pi over 4. Lunch bells. Now notice my right anchor point, it's halfway between the intercept and the right asymptote. So that's our pi over 4. But normally I would be at 1, but because we have a vertical stretch once again of 3, we're going to be at 1 at pi over 4, but 3. And then we have this curving graph such as that.